Sometimes figuring out what you got to do to make growth happen and to fix issues is the hardest part of this game. And financially, when you're in April and you're 50 in the hole, you're in trouble. So we're not going to expand as much as I would like. No, no, no. I think it's time to begin looking it over a different way. I was going to tie in this wholesaler, because the wholesalers do tend to make some money. But it's cyclic. What we need is more speed. What we need is to take and figure out a way to stop the growth for a little while on our communities. Now, back up here in Walmouth, I did do some things. And I've had my eye on something I wanted to do. I'm doing one of those things right here. And that is to try and smooth out this road section right there to see if more of these guys will divert off this and start using this pathway. If I can get them to start doing that, maybe that'll stop this jam up that's occurring here. And it's an ugly jam up that is occurring here. There's just too much traffic, not enough flow. So, first things first, let's go to our Walmouth vehicles. So, line management, put in the word Walmouth. Let's see what we got. Well, we got one old beat down train still out there. But that's because I want those cars behind that Hunt-Slip. We're going to look at road, and more importantly, passengers and mail. Mail first. What is going wrong with our mail? There are times when I wish I could take and do a stations served by routes type highlight, so that I can see maybe which ones I could do. This guy, he can just retire. And we're going to unpause the game so that he does retire out. Same with any other post rider I still have. Get rid of the post riders. They're part of the traffic jam. This guy, we're going to tell him to retire. All right, Post Rider 3, another one to retire. Once he delivers, retire the. So that's got us down to nothing but carts. And we got a couple of these that are just overloaded carts, the Malibu cart and a couple others. And hopefully, with that reduction of 4 off of that jam up there, we can start opening this line up a little bit. Let's speed up, do a speed run, see if anything begins moving that jam up. And if anybody takes advantage of that near road. No, the mail guys are going the wrong way. Darn it. But the jam up is getting a little bit less. It's not making it back out into the bridge as often. And then I spoke too soon. Watching everything taking slowly but surely work its way through. Hopefully this will start to clear out a little bit. Post Rider 4 and Post Rider 3 are the few problematic cash flow ones. But they're not our big losers. No, it's time to start thinking about what is our big losers. Let's go to all and all. And we want to sort by profit. This guy, what is he doing? Okay, there we go. Well, right there's our answer. There's part of our cash flow issue. This guy's not even waiting for a load. He's just running. We're going to take and send him back and have him function correctly. But at the same time, he's empty, so why don't we send him to depot and get a proper engine that's a little cheaper on the front of him. Loose the Borsig. We'll be back to you in a few minutes, and hopefully you will be running a little bit better. Same here. Is this a similar line? Yes, it is. We're not picking up oil and holding for oil like we should be. And by making these guys wait for a 50% load, hopefully this will take and get these lines a little bit better. And at least moving some freight. Even a 20% load would be better. So the South Vertexicus boiler is going to be good. One of our cash cows. One of our cash cows is running empty now. Far too often. And that tells me everything I need to know. It's time to retire one of these two trains. So this guy here, retire. See if that changes our cash flow. Here, this one, there's a Borsig still out on the line. Answer here, very easy. Get rid of the Borsig. So what we're going to do is unload only, speed run him till he's empty on the South Tri-City train. And then go to depot. Hi there. Get rid of the Borsig. Put a Hunslet onto that train. So with the Hunslet on there, now that should take and start making money. And just to make certain, Hunslet upgraded. All right. The Prima and back is not making money. Again, that looks like that's a Borsig on that train. And it is. Let's get him, just like the other guy, delivered into a depot. And right over here to this depot we go. Hold that Borsig. Let's throw a Hunslet in front. It can run it. It'll run it much cheaper. Borsig, $8.31. Hunslet, $1.67. That's $6 worth of savings, guys. We're going to make some money. And by having the Iron Eagle out on the line now, with that, we're good to go. There's the other one we wanted to get rid of. So that's the 119. And we're going to put a WEC on that one. A WEC, put those train cars behind him. That's on the 119 line. Whoops. And start. Let's check our finances now and see how the monthly looks. Go ahead and let the speed run go. We can see that we pulled it up. And our yearly is starting to look a little bit better. But it's the monthlies, and we've got to have more cash flow positives. And there, setting a record for the first time in a long time. Now we're starting to take and see some changes. Those were our big drains. Now the question is, does this continue onward? Can we get several months in a row that high up, or at least above the zero baseline? While we're waiting, let's take a peek at this lumber rack and look at his schedule. He's got the 100%, so why is he losing money? Not delivering enough, probably. So what type of train is he? The Penrose is a WEC. Let's double check that. Yep, he's a WEC. That's a St. B91. I'm good with it. Pharmacopoeia Runner. Another one that's causing us to lose money. And in his case, I think that's just a period one where it was temporary. I think if we did this, now go to the profits, looking a little bit different. Still have some of the same lines listed, but are they going up or are they going down? And this line is still not doing what we told it to. 100%. Thank you. There we go. So we've got different trains now involved. Different vehicles on that list. So it's time to start looking at some of them. This guy. The Barwell and Walmouth Postal Turget. It's time to do some changes. What changes? He doesn't have any minimums. So at Port Marsalis, 50%. Out there at Barwell, we're going to raise it down to 20% for the return trip. See if that at least cuts the losses. And that's what we're after. Cutting losses and holding losses. The Granger. He's got the right loads. Okay. What's his vehicle? Yep. It's just going to be until we can get a better vehicle. And we should be getting that vehicle any minute now. Let's take a peek. Trains. The WEC St. B came into play, and January of 76, a year 2 years from now, we'll get the WEC 91, the St. B91. We're on the WEC B, what? 110. So the 91 comes along. And shortly thereafterwards, about 4 years later, we get the H-Trans, which is another good one. But it's not until 91 that we get our king of the rails, the Sacker, in my opinion. Still, 373 versus 231. We're going to lose money for a slower speed, but more power. And that means more cars. More cars means more delivery. And we're still on 55 kilometer an hour track, so it doesn't really matter. This is where the rubber meets the road. We had a black month last month. And the year. Oh, that was a black year. Oh, we are good. We've got it under control. Well, I'd say episode 92 here, I think it is. Yeah, this is episode 92. Our fourth episode of the day. We're finally turning finances around. So, you've got two ways to do it. Quality of service, and first just checking to make certain service is right. And make certain services right before you go for quality of service. I'm Kelly Jack. I know you're going to have a better day than I'm having.